Hey y'all, I am in beautiful Cartagena, Colombia, for the past few days with just an amazing group of entrepreneurs and philanthropists. And I closed out with a speech around who are you uninterrupted? And y'all know I talk about that a lot. It's one of the biggest questions that have shaped my life, because y'all know the quality of your questions determine the quality of your life. And we have to ask bigger, richer, more expansive questions about who we are and ultimately what we want in the world. And so when you're thinking about defining your life and answering the question, who am I uninterrupted? I feel like there's a few things, right? And so I always tell people, think about if at every intersection of your life, the light wasn't yellow, it wasn't red, it was only green, what would you do with your life? If nothing stood in the way of you achieving success, if nothing will stand in the way of you achieving success moving forward. So nothing in the past, right? And all the baggage that we carry with us, all the trauma, even all the joy that we carry with us into situations, and then thinking about the path being completely clear and nothing standing in the way moving forward. What would you do with your life and your time and your resources and your power and your magic? And then go out and create that. But there's 2 or 3 steps that I want to walk you through about how to get to that point of clarity, to be able to give yourself the permission to think that big and expansive about the possibility, moving away any naysayers or any negative thoughts or any upper limiting beliefs or any stagnation, not thinking about any of that. Because oftentimes when we need to be thinking about the next level that has our name on it, when we need to be thinking about what our life would look like if we had permission to do whatever we want and gave ourselves the permission, when we think about abundance, because abundance is not something that we create as human beings. Abundance exists all around us. What we do as human beings is we create the limitations that stop us from actually getting the abundance. And so when you're thinking about answering that question, that happens to people oftentimes. Like, how can I think about building something or being someone without challenges? Yeah, actually, you can. Not saying that those things don't happen, because we know disruptions follow all of our best intentions. And if we don't realize that, like Myron always says, we'll quit in the middle of our assignment. So we know that to be true. But we cannot build and imagine and dream thinking about the interruptions, the disruptions, the challenges first. We have to give ourselves permission, and then by doing so, give other people permission to be able to think and dream bigger, richer, and more expansive. But before you can get to that point, to define what your life looks like uninterrupted, you actually have to take a step back and define what interrupted you along your pathway to begin with. What is it that you walk into rooms, meetings, when you think about building something, when you think about creating things that are bigger than yourselves, when you're thinking about going in a direction, what are the limiting beliefs or the person's voice that said something or did not say something to you, that did something to you or did not do the thing that you needed them to do, that stands in the way of you even beginning to give yourself the permission enough to start defining the uninterrupted life? And so first, you need to decide, figure out, and determine what was that interruption or interruptions, what was it or who was it, right? And then once you realize what it is, then you are able to move that aside and say, I am not going to let this stand in my way anymore. I am going to build a life uninterrupted by all of that has stood in the way, right? Some of these things are systemic, right? Racism, sexism, biasm, funding bias, philanthropic bias. I can go on and on and on about all the isms and all the things that are systemic, right? Some of those have come from our family. Some of those have come from our work environment. Some of those things we've bestowed upon ourselves, right? The longest conversation that we have and the longest negative conversation that we have is not with other people and not with haters, it's actually with ourselves. And so before you can define your life uninterrupted, you have to identify the things, right? The who, what, when, where, and why that interrupted your life to begin with. You have to almost kind of wash it away from your body and your mind before you then have a clear space and an abundant space to think through, how do I define my life uninterrupted? If at any and every intersection of your life, The light was never, ever, ever red again. It was only, and it wasn't yellow either. Nothing was telling you to stop or slow down. It was only green, meaning go, 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 go. What would you build? Who would you be? How would you show up? How would you define your days every single day? You know, for me, staying an extra day to be here in this beautiful, 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 like kind of treehouse situation with this really, I have to show y'all, this really amazing bookshelf around me. Look at how cool this place is. And look how cool this is down here, right? Like whole situation down here. And so for me, building a life uninterrupted meant staying an extra day because I knew that I needed that. And I've been inspired and invigorated by this experience and this space and how beautiful and serene it is in order to start having more things flow through me and to me as a result of that. And that is my life, abundant and also uninterrupted, because I wasn't going to let the interruption of having things to do or the franticness of getting back and jumping right back into the normal craziness of my work life interrupt this moment of peace and serenity. And so define that, because once you define what your life looks like in the full operation of your ability and your spirit and your abundance, then you can make sure that you set boundaries in place. Then you can define abundance for you and yourself and others. Then you get to create this sacred space that is you uninterrupted. Nothing stopping you, nothing disrupting you. Sure, things alter us a little and take us off kilter, but you are allowed to be laser focused in building the abundance that exists for you and everyone that's important to you and everything that's important to you moving forward. And so go out and define who you are uninterrupted. Your uninterrupted, untethered life moving forward, because you deserve it. And when you do that, you give other people permission to do the exact same thing. And so I hope this clarity and some of these prompts really helped you better understand how to define your life, build your life, and live your life completely uninterrupted moving forward. Bye.